She had my car towed off my own land and thought she'd won. What she didn't know, that pile of junk belonged to the town's mayor. Yeah, let that sink in. I've been restoring vintage cars for over a decade now. Quietly, respectfully, out on the edge of a sleepy Kentucky town I'll keep nameless. My little shop sits on my own fenced land, tucked behind my house. You'd miss it unless you meant to look. But not Karen. Oh no, Karen always meant to look. Let's call her Linda for the sake of storytelling, though Karen might fit better. From the first day I rolled a rusted old Pontiac onto my lot, she's been at war with me. Called my builds junkyards. Told the city I was running an illegal chop shop. Truth was, I'd been fully licensed, fully insured, and well within code since day one. But none of that mattered to Linda. The woman had a grudge, and she wore it like perfume, loud, suffocating, and entirely unnecessary. Now, here's where the trouble really started. A few months back, I took on a very special restoration job. A 1967 Shelby Cobra, what some folks would call a holy grail in the muscle car world. Thing was in rough shape, sure, needed a miracle. But I was excited. Paid good money up front, too. I parked it under my back canopy, like I do with every high-profile build. Out of sight, behind a brick wall, on my land. I hadn't even touched the engine yet before Linda started snooping. I caught her peeking over the fence one morning, arms crossed, lips pursed, radiating judgment. She yells, "Another piece of trash! You turning this place into a junk heap?" I stayed calm, told her it was part of my business, that it was legal, and, honestly, none of her business. But logic never works with people like her. She just sniffed, rolled her eyes, and stormed off with one last, "You'll regret this." I shrugged it off, figured she'd cool down like she always did after a tantrum. But nah, this time she escalated. The next day, I came back from delivering a completed car to a client. Feeling good, sun shining, windows down. But when I pulled into the driveway, the Cobra was gone. Gone! First thought was theft. I panicked, heart pounding, called the cops. What I found out next made my jaw drop. It had been towed. Linda, in all her brilliance, had filed a complaint to a towing company out of town, claiming the Shelby was abandoned. On her block, a hazard to property value. She even paid the tow fee herself. Must have thought that made it legal. Except that car didn't belong to just any client. The Shelby Cobra belonged to Mayor James Whitlow. Yeah, the mayor. Turns out one of my previous customers had recommended me to him. Said I was discreet, meticulous. Mayor James wanted it restored as a surprise anniversary gift for his wife. They had history with that car. Deep history. I didn't even know it was his, not until the cops called him up and all hell broke loose. When the mayor heard what happened, he didn't just get mad, he brought the sheriff. The investigation ramped up fast. That towing company gave up Linda's name in a heartbeat once they realized they'd been lied to. Said she acted urgent and concerned about community safety. You know, the usual suburban performance. She tried to spin it, claimed I was fixing cars illegally, that I'd harassed her, that she was the victim. But records don't lie. And I had a city permit for every inch of that workshop. Court hit her with property interference, fraud, and unlawful misrepresentation. She paid for the return of the car, restoration delays, court costs, and, get this, a 2-month jail sentence. 2 months in County Orange for trying to clean up the street. The best part? When the mayor came back to pick up his fully restored Shelby, shining like liquid silver, he shook my hand, smiled, and said, "Didn't think I'd get justice this quick. You ever need anything in this town, you call me direct." Since then, my business exploded. I get jobs lined up 3 deep now. Word travels fast when the mayor's car comes out of your garage looking like it time-traveled from 1967. As for Linda, she moved, packed up, left town with her nose in the air. Nobody waves when her name comes up. And me? I still hear tools humming, paint drying, and engines roaring, music to my ears. Funny how one spiteful woman ended up being the best advertisement I ever had. So, who was really in the wrong here?